Good evening. Wow. This industry is in an enormous transformation. But I can tell you, the change up to now has been very slow. What we will see in front of us will be enormous transformation and actually enormous development. And we're going to be part of it, our industry. Some might remember that 2009 or 2010, Ericsson decided to talk about 50 billion connected devices. I, myself, for example, I have a connected device that actually is measuring how much I slept yesterday. And as you can see, it was not really a great night. I made 5 hours and 6 minutes. This one. Do you know what this is?
Fire it through.
Okay, I need to speed up. Okay. This is a connected basketball. So what is that good for? It has Bluetooth inside, and some of you remember Ericsson invented Bluetooth. This is increasing the performance of a basketball player. These type of devices that are connected will be many of them coming into our lifestyle. I guess that when we came up with 50 billion connected devices, we never thought about that. That these type of devices would be around us and we would use them for improving our lives. So, we are going into what we call the network society, and we have talked about it for several years, and it's really moving in there. Think about this. 2010, 500 million mobile broadband subscriptions. 2013, 2.1 billion mobile broadband subscriptions. 2019, 8 billion mobile broadband subscriptions. We are part of a revolution of technology that's going to give prosperity to the earth. We're almost going to increase the number of people on this earth that has access to internet 3 times the next 5 years. So what I said in the beginning, the pace of change will never be as slow as it has been so far. That's very important. And of course, it will impact our society when it comes to education, healthcare, that can use all of this in order to improve life for people. And businesses, I mean, who could have thought that Volvo would have a car in Hall 2 of Ericsson and Mobile World Congress, or a miniature of a ship from Maersk? That is where we're seeing right now, how we can contribute and work together in all this society. I would like to invite first Alan Liu, Chief Executive Officer, Group Digital Life, Country Chief Officer, Singapore, from Singtel. Alan Liu, please.
I think, to be successful on our journey, we are competing against the big digital players.
Yes.
We are competing against people in the garages, in Sweden, in Scandinavia, Israel, USA, wherever. So we need to find a way to be more and more innovative, to listen to our customers more, to be faster in rolling out things that are relevant to them. So really where Ericsson can help us, beyond just being our infrastructure provider, is to be part of our innovation team.
Yes.
I don't want to use the word ecosystem because that's been beaten to death, but we call it an innovation team that works at getting the customer insights as people move on to the mobile world, mobile internet world. Work with us, take the risk with us, and hopefully at the end of the day, when we are all successful, Ericsson will have a share of that cake as well.
Thank you. we would like that share, you remember that?
Yeah, I didn't say how big or how small, but there's definitely a share.
So I promised 2 guests, so I will have 1 more as well. The next one is a person that is really thinking ahead about where the technology is going. He's the Chief Technology Officer of AT&T, Mr. John Donovan.
I think that we're going to have a future where if information makes a product better, it will be there.
Yes.
If being networked makes a process better, it will be there. And then we can step out of the middle. So my refrigerator can coordinate with my washing machine and all those things I don't need to be involved in. And all we really want to do is make the network invisible in that.
Thank you very much, John Donovan. It's great to hear you, and I hope you appreciate listening to Alan Liu and John Donovan that are really thinking how they're going to be relevant in the future.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your partnership, Hans. You guys have done a great job for us. You're a great partner. and I'm delighted to be up on stage here with you.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thanks.
I have a small surprise for you. I usually ask the R&D team to innovate and come up with something. This time I have talked to another team of Ericsson, which is the Research User Experience Lab, to see what can the network society contain in the future.
So starting with a small thing like user experience, we end up with a vision for the coming generation of mobile networks and systems. For this concept to fly, it has to answer to one major question. What kind of technology do we need to build in order for Marcus' experience to be as good as, or even better as than if he was driving in the machine himself? Now, that question becomes even more interesting if you consider that that machine might now be in Paris, for instance, and Marcus is being here in Barcelona.
So Marcus is here digging in Paris.
Exactly. Why should he leave his
He
family?
needs some permits, I guess, but I understand.
Well, why should he leave his family for 6 months to dig a hole in Paris?
Absolutely, when he can be in Barcelona.
Exactly.
I understand.
Now, all of a sudden, we can start to think about what that means for the future networks. Add to this,
You can be in one city and dig in another.
Exactly. But add also all the data that the machine generates itself, and all the sensors around the machine, and Marcus as well. We can start to formulate an idea of what the shape of the next generation mobile networks will be about. And what we see, if you ask us here and now, is a really end-to-end perspective of the next generation of mobile networks.
I would like to say, first of all, thank you for all of you coming here and being partners to Ericsson. We have a huge, important task to be relevant for you. I promise you the transformation that happened in the industry is happening for you, and we really need to transform to be your partners. And I'm committed to do that. My team is committed. We're going to see that we are relevant in technology, OSS, BSS, TV and media, our service offering to really support you with that. The transformation will continue with high speed.